Hello and welcome to Kick Talk Reboot. I'm Callum Corral. And thanks to the Oven and Dreghorn brass band there for that seasonal interlude. But which teams this weekend brought good tidings for their support? And which ones were bearing gifts for the opposition? In this weekend's programme, we have a match report from the Stagecoach First Division encounter between Largs Thistle and Kilsyth. And we speak to junior football pundit Drew Cochrane as we round up this weekend's games. But now it's on to the results. Stagecoach Premier Division, Auchinleck 2, Clydebank 1, Athley 1, Hullford 5, Cumnock 1, Troon 1, Glenafton 2, Oven Meadow 2, Petershill 3, Kilbirnie 1, Stagecoach First Division, Kilbirnie 2, Thornywood 3, Largs 0, Kilsyth 2, Maple 5, Ardere 2, Neilston 4, Rutherglen 1, Pollock 3, Greenock 0, Shedston 1, Ovenvix 0, and Yoka 2, Robroy 3. Stagecoach Ayrshire District League, Winton Rovers 3, Anbank 1, Salcoats 1, Darvel 0, Whitlets 5, Craigmark 0, Stagecoach Central District First, Lanark 2, Wishaw 0, Stagecoach Central District 2nd, Glasgow Perthshire 2, East Kilbride 5, Port Glasgow 2, Forth Wanderers 3. And now it's on to my match report from Barfields Park, where it was Largs Thistle 0, Kilsyth 2. Kilsyth did the double over Largs in the league to boost their survival chances in this cutthroat First Division. Largs provided the early running in this game, but it was the visitors who created the first meaningful chance, as Paul McBride overcame a challenge from Craig Little, but his fierce shot was blocked by Largs keeper Grant Weir. A Stuart Livingston free kick whizzed past the right post, and McBride's well-struck half-volley zipped past the left as Kilsyth were looking threatening. Nicky Prentice's blazing run down the left, and his cross set up Mark Duffy, who seemed certain to score but shot straight at Weir. And Largs' Alan Frizzell met Sean Lawrence's curling through ball on the right, and he hit a vicious shot in the turn, which was blocked by Paul Smith, the Kilsyth keeper, at his near post. But Kilsyth punished Largs in 32 minutes as Phil Dolan turned and twisted his way past the Largs defence on the left before sending an unstoppable shot into the far right corner from an acute angle. Largs responded with Sean Lawrence picking up McDonald's pass on the left-hand side, turned his man before rocketing an effort off the left post. Kilsyth doubled their lead, however, on 40 minutes. Mark Duffy took advantage of a through ball which was not cut out by the Largs defence, Craig Little clattering to the ground, and Duffy had the simple opportunity to fire a 12-yard volley high into the net beyond the exposed Grant Weir. Largs fared better in the second half, as the midfield got a stronger grip on the contest, but it was too little too late. James Marks was one of the few to breach the Kilsyth defence via the left channel as he turned his man, but his shot from the outside of his right foot was denied by keeper Smith with a fine one-handed save. Muir's unorthodox backheeled volley from Struthers crossing right flashed wide of the right post as Largs struggled to break Kilsyth down. But the visitors nearly made it 3. They burst up the park. Prentice was clean through in goal, but it was denied by a Weir block late on. Kilsyth were more physical and aggressive in their approach, and they gained a deserved victory at Barfields. As for Largs, it was another haphazard display at home. They've only gained 2 league wins out of 10. So, the final score at Barfields was Largs Thistle 0, Kilsyth 2, and after the match, I caught up with former Largs news editor Drew Cochrane for his take on the game. I'm with Drew Cochrane this afternoon after Largs Thistle's 2-0 defeat to Kilsyth, a match that we were both attending. Dolan and Duffy getting the goals for Kilsyth. It was from Kilsyth's point of view, they really took the game to Largs in the first half.
Yeah, they seemed more determined all over the park, to be quite honest. Largs had that atrocious result a few weeks ago when they went out of the Scottish at Johnstone Borough, and everyone expected at home, you know, they'd make sort of restoration for that. But I mean, I thought Largs were poor today. They never got settled, and as you suggest, Kilsyth hustled and harried them from the beginning, and were quite rightly 2-0 up at half time. We expected Largs to come back at them in the second half, and they did, but at the moment, you know, Largs just don't look like scoring.
Yeah, and they looked very vulnerable, Largs, in the first half. I mean, Kilsyth had a lot of chances. I mean, Grant Weir made one good save, though really maybe Kilsyth should have scored with that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've got two talented central defenders, but they're both young. You know, Nicky Jimison's only 18, and Craig Little settling into that central defensive role, but at times they're at 6s and 7s. There's no doubt that Largs miss Ian Fisher. He's their best player, not only as a defender, but the fact that he drives the team forward.
Yeah, because at times in the first half, you know, there was a period for about the opening 20 minutes or so, they just couldn't get the ball out their own half. Largs, there was kind of sort of tippy-tappy defensive passing between them, and they were getting into a real fankle at times.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while that Largs would turn the corner, and of course they've only won one home game, and I thought, you know, last month when they did that, they turned the corner, but as I look at it today, it's just not good enough even to get out the bottom four. So you could see Largs struggling right through to the end to try and avoid that drop of four into the District League.
And maybe before we look at the other junior games, a final word for Kilsyth, who were the outright winners today. I mean, 2-0 away win. They were strong, they were physical, and it was job done from their point of view. Yeah,
a hardy junior team with that very good speedy winger, Nicky Prentice. I think you said to me, Callum, that Falkirk were looking at him, and he's the sort of player that makes a difference in an average junior team. Lars were always in trouble when he was running at them.
Yeah. Now, looking at the Premier League today, we were following Glenafton v Irvine Meadow, and it was a late equaliser for Meadow to really get them out of jail and keep their unbeaten run going.
Yeah, again, it was, I think Mark Thompson's the guy that pulled them out of it. He's a guy that scores a lot of free kick goals for Meadow, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a stoppage time free kick that he hit. It keeps Meadow unbeaten at the top of that Premier League, but of course Talbot will chase them right through, and Talbot won 2-1 against Clydebank today, and it's looking like a two-horse race, really.
Yeah, and saying that, like you say, there was a good result as well for Petershill. They managed to overcome Kilbirnie 3-1, and for the other Ayrshire side, Troon, it was a point away to Cumnock.
Yeah, I mean, Troon will probably be quite happy with the point at Cumnock, and it keeps Troon kind of mid-table. But Kilbirnie,
they've gone through a rough patch of late. Kilbirnie.
Yeah, I mean, they even struggled. They went up north in the Scottish Cup tie and got a late equaliser. Okay, they did the business. Was it Stonywood or Stonyburn last week, one of the North League teams? But in the league, they haven't been impressive at all. And they'll have to watch themselves, or they'll be staring at the basement door. And
we haven't spoken to you for a while, Drew. In terms of, obviously, there's been a lot of action in recent weeks. Just looking at it, you were talking there about how things will look. But what do you think about the Scottish Cup? Do you see any early favourites for that at the moment?
Well, it's interesting because you've got, obviously, Auchinleck Talbot looking to be the top kingpins again, and Hurlford defending the trophy. So I'm looking at those two flying the flag for Ayrshire right through to the last stages of the tournament. But of course, when you've got the likes of Lithgow always in there, and Bo'ness fighting their corner
it's
well.
Halford Bo'ness, isn't it, in the next round? That's
well,
going to be a cracker.
that's your cracker, right enough. And of course, there's always teams that get under the radar, the sides you don't expect to do well, but they get favourable draws, and suddenly the quarter-final will appear round about March time, and there'll be some dark horses in there.
And finally, just looking at the first division, I just see some scores coming through. Now, Pollock have beaten Greenock 3-0. Now, there was only 2 teams up until last season that never got relegated from the Premier, Pollock being one of them, and then that obviously changed. They've had a great season. They're really looking strong, and they're obviously going to come right back up again.
Aye, it's what Largs should be doing, running away at the top of the league, but it's Pollock who are one of the big boys, let's face it, and they've got that consistency going. They're still one of those clubs that can go out and buy in, top drawer players, and that's what they did towards the end of last season when they bought the guy Winters, they bought Alan McKenzie from Auchinleck, and they've got quite a few regular goal scorers now, Pollock, so I don't think they'll be caught in the first division.
Yeah, it's looking very good. Okay, well, thanks very much, and a Merry Christmas to you, Drew, and thanks very much for that for Kick Talk. Thank you. And that is it for Kick Talk this week. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas from everybody on the Kick Talk team, including Drew Cochrane and Stuart McConnell and myself, Callum Crowell. We'll leave you again with the Oven and Dreghorn Brass Band to play us out. Goodbye.